What's up, guys? So let's say that you want to add some of these words, right? So let's pretend that we want to add this one. So what you need to do is select it, of course. You need to select the ad group. If the account is connected, it will allow you the ability just to select the ad group right directly from here. As I can see, it's not connected for some reason correctly on here. Um, oh, I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and select an existing campaign. So let's pretend that I'm gonna use the non-brand, actually not the brand. So you always want to make sure that you add it in the right category, right? So as you will see, there's not one in particular related to drinks. I'm just gonna pretend and add it on this one. I'm not gonna add it, and then I'm gonna pretend and say that this is the drinks ad group, right? But we can see that obviously it's not. So you have to make sure that you structure your ad groups correctly. I always recommend that you have keywords with exact keywords, and you have an ad group with phrase match keywords. The reason why that is because whenever you're adding keywords, you essentially add keywords per ad group. You add keywords at the exact match modifier. So you add them as exacts with brackets, and you add the ones with phrases with the little quotation marks. So as an example, this one right here, I would need to add it to both. It just depends, if the keyword is there or not. As we see here, it's not. The other way that you can do this, you don't have to do it this way where you add it directly here, and then you just click on add keyword, and that will add it directly from here from Keyword Planner. The other way that you can add it is just going directly to the platform and basically just adding it in manually. So we know that the keyword is drinks, right? So that is the keyword. So let's pretend that we're going to go here and pretend that this is the drinks ad group. Obviously, I know that this is not. So let me go here to ad groups. So remember, it goes from the campaign level to ad groups. And then I'm going to select one of the ad groups. Let's pretend that this one is drinks. So I will go inside that ad group. And this is where you will see the list of all the keywords. You'll notice how there's a filter at the moment. So you want to make sure that you reset that filter so you're able to see all the keywords that are in here, whether if it's a combination or just one specific type. You see that we only see exact keywords at the moment. Still okay, it's done now. Okay, there we go. So you see that there were some broad match. You see with the plus signs, this was a phrase match, broad match, and a phrase match, but they decided to pause those and only keep the exacts, as you see here. And as you see here, it says you only have read access, so I can't add any keywords at the moment. um, but this is where you would add the keywords. So you would just click on here, and then you would add them, whether if that would be an exact match or phrase match. But yeah, so that's basically how you add the keywords onto the appropriate ad group. Just make sure that it makes sense where you add it. You don't want to add drinks keyword in the long sleeve ad group. You see what I mean? So you just have to make sure you structure everything correctly. So when it comes time to add the keywords, you just add them in the appropriate location, the appropriate ad group. And then you just start keeping an eye on it and decide if you want to go automated bidding or manual bidding. At that point, you just kind of keep an eye and you eventually start pausing keywords that are not performing. And you can see here that they tested all three and decided that exact was the one that performed a lot better, as you can see here. So that's kind of how they went at it. They opened the ad group and they tested all three modifiers, and they determined that the exact was the one that was performing. So they decided to pause these, as you can see here. So that's basically how it went. Um, and you can do the same thing with the search terms. You basically just go inside, take a look at what has performed, and see if you can add those onto the appropriate ad group. So you go back to the ad group. Once you find out, you can download the list, or you can just type them in one by one. It's faster if you download the list. So let's say that you downloaded the list, and say that you study the list and you determine where each keyword should go. So at this point,